Supercross Live on supercrossonline.com. Good morning from chilly Phoenix. Kevin Barnett and Jim Holley getting ready for another big day of racing. Round 2 here from Phoenix. And Jim, last week we could not have had a better start to the season. How about Millsaps and Kennard up front? Lots of great racing all night.
Well, I think a lot of people didn't think that Millsaps was even going to be in the top 5, and for that matter, even Kennard being off a year. But I mean, those guys came to race in 2013, and they showed the champions and all the contenders, the James Stewarts and the Chad Reeds, that hey, it's not all going to be about you guys. I mean, we're up here too, and we're going to win some more races.
Yeah, lots of issues coming into this week. James Stewart, the condition of his knee is in question, but then I want to know about that group, the Davey Millsaps, the Trey Kennards, the other guys in that kind of second tier as they were reviewed. Does the success from last week give these other guys some confidence that they can move up, that there's mobility between, say, the tiers of riders?
I think so. I mean, absolutely. Anytime you have a guy that, you know, isn't expected to win, come out and win, that just makes everybody else motivated. Like, hey, man, if he can do it, I can do it. But, you know, you'd mentioned James Stewart. I thought he put in a great ride. I mean, could have been very easily, James Stewart could have said, I'm not riding, my knee's hurt. But, you know, to go out there and finish up in that top 10, you know, and gain some points, and hopefully he's ready to go here in Phoenix.
Last week, the champion, two-time defending champion, Ryan Villopoto, had a rough ride, and it looked like it kind of got away from him a little bit mentally late in the race. Was he pressing a bit too hard, did you feel?
Yeah, I feel, in my opinion, he was. And here's the reason why. In that heat race, he got a bad start. He came up on a last lap. He almost got Barcia. He finished second, you know, and then he gets in the main. He gets a horrible start in that main, and then he realized, hey, if I did it in the heat race, I can do it again. But he forgot to think about that there's 10 other guys out there in that other heat race that he wasn't in that he had to battle with. So I mean, you know, on something like that, you know, he should have maybe just said, hey, I got a bad start, let me see what I can do. Maybe I can get in the top 5. If I get in the top 3, I'm on the podium, great. But I think he had the mindset that he wanted to go out and try to win 3 in a row at Anaheim at the opener, and just didn't happen for him. I mean, his 16th, but you know what? You know, guys have come back from more of a deficit. Ricky Carmichael has done it. Other guys have done it in the past, and they still come away with the championship. The key is how he rebounds here in Phoenix.
It's a long championship, and certainly there are a lot of riders capable of winning the race. Moving over to the 250 class, we expected a good battle. Ken Roxon was fast. Blake Baggett had a rough night, got hit by a bike early on. All the TLD team was fast, but the story was Eli Tomac once again getting away and just running away. Can anyone catch Tomac?
Yeah, I mean, you know, look at Tomac in that heat race. I mean, he had a horrible heat race. He had a bad start, and he didn't do good in the heat race. But he comes out in that main event, he goes, I got to get a start, and he did that and just kind of ran away from everybody. But, you know, another guy that we forgot to mention, Martin Davalos on the Monster Energy Pro Circuit Kawasaki team, wins this heat race, looks good, and then has his problems again. The gremlin's still in that main event for Martin Davalos. Hopefully he can turn it around here. But I think that lights race is going to be interesting. Cole Seeley, I know he wants to get a win. He was a little disappointed, even though he was on the box. I look for Cole Seeley to possibly win here.
It'll be interesting to see with Davalos what he can actually do. His bike destroyed in that first turn pileup. Pipe smashed in and radiator broken, so really no chance for Davalos to show whether he had the speed or not in the main. How about this track this week? You and I were just walking around the track, and in particular the whoops come to mind. They are big, they are gnarly, and it's got kind of an interesting entry.
Well, hopefully that photo that you put, you're going to put it on your Facebook and tweet that on you know, twitter.com/supercross, because I mean, Kevin, you're a tall guy and you were standing in the whoops, and I think it almost came up to your hips. I mean, last week's whoops in Anaheim, you know, they were pretty easy to the guys, but this week here, I mean, I look at a track sometimes when I'm walking and go, you know what, I'd kind of like to go around lap. I don't want to go around lap here in Phoenix. Those whoops there, I'd like to bypass on the side of it. It's going to be hard tonight for the guys.
Well, good for you. You're going to be up in the booth. We're going to have live streaming coverage for you once again this week. Practice 3 hours of it. You get a chance to watch qualifying in addition to some rider interviews, and of course we'll have Jim's AMSOIL podium interviews and a post-race wrap-up. Going to be another great day of racing here in Phoenix.